Alright, good day to you all out there. Nikita reporting at long last with a sneak peek of the next coming StreetzRPG update. This is, of course, the long-enthused Overhaul update, version 0.30, and with it will be coming a few essential user interaction mechanics, two of which I'll be briefly showing you today. These are a refined inventory and item use system, and the frameworks for dialogue to come later in the future. Now, previously, I did have the dialogue system worked into a more playable state, but as tradition tends to hold with this game project, I lost that script on an old hard drive a while back. So we're only now restarting from version 0.29, so it could be worse. And I'm excited to see what the future holds for StreetzRPG, and I'm sure you are as well. So without further ado, let's dive into the preview for version 0.30, the Overhaul update. Alright, popping into the game here, version 0.30, R0. We're going to play as good old Johnny Kickass, my beloved testing character. So the first thing I want to show off to you guys, if we pop down to Quick Gas here, we don't need to look at prices, we just go buy 1, buy 2, buy 3, buy 4, buy 5, buy 5, buy 5, and why not draw the lotto? Tell me I'm not the game developer, I know all the IDs. Anyhow, if you push I now, and this will be bindable to the settings option for your own key if you prefer, push I, it'll open up your inventory, and you hover over an item, it'll show you the item name and the description. Now I'm thinking in the future, if you right click, you'll have an interaction box appear, you know, use, examine, drop, etc. Kind of similar how the interaction menus work here. This is even more progress I had on my lost hard drive. You would actually be able to use these buttons, but that won't be too hard to rebuild. Anyhow, like I said, I'd prefer an interaction box to appear to use the item, but for now you can just push the corresponding inventory slot to use the item. Say, smoke a cigarette, push 6, and you'll be given the cigarette clothing object. Do not mind that I still haven't patched it to jump with the player. So let's go ahead and snuff that. Anyhow, let's say we want to use next 2. This is another thing I restored from lost progress on my hard drive. The X2 energy drink. It's an energy drink can covered in warnings. So let's go ahead and chug that, shall we? Johnny Kickass guzzles down a can of X2 energy. Now what this does is it takes your AP and your HP, and it doubles it. So we only had 1, so it doubled it for 2, but say we set the AP to, say, 25. Use 9, oh, okay, yeah. It doubles it for 50. Now there is also a 1 in 20 chance that you'll drop dead on the spot of drinking one of these. So the warnings are in place for a damn good reason. You're pretty much playing roulette with these things. Anyhow, so yeah, you see the dialogue system. We can also set weed, say 5, set coke, say 2, and use drugs through here too. Now, I noticed the glitch right off the bat trying to record this earlier. If you use weed, it's supposed to close the inventory when you use it, but if you use coke, it will. If you use smokes, it will. Anything but weed, so it's specific to that. I just have to patch that in the code for weed specifically. But that's one of the features I want to show off to you guys. But the second here is the framework for the dialogue system. Now, as I mentioned before, that I had further progress on the dialogue system. You could actually talk to people. They would have a lot more logic to them, and your interactions would mean something. I had to set up in a way where I could have missions and random encounters, etc., just with a little bit of elbow grease. But so we're starting a bit from scratch from there, but right, we have to manually chat with him. There is the logic of he's responding to me hostilely because I'm just a civilian and I'm in a gang hood, so he's provoking me. But this was an option that I had further worked. You could talk your way into
buying drugs off him.
So that'll be a thing I'm going to tweak with in the future, and I'll better be able to sort out if I want street dealers, if I want gang members to sell drugs, etc. But yeah, we are working with a bit of
half-baked code
that I had later sort of finished. But looking on it with a fresh pair of eyes, I don't think it'll be too hard to restore with a lot of things that I had previously and a lot of mechanics that I intend. It shouldn't be too difficult at all. Before we go though as well, I'd like to show you the gun shop because I'm going to be reducing the weapon slots to 2 most likely, as you might have saw in the inventory. Primary and secondary. Now this will be regardless of what weapons they are. Like you can have 2 quote-unquote primary weapons, say the AK and the shotty, but you're only going to be able to have 2, whether it's a bat and a pistol or an M4 and a minigun, for crying out loud. Anyhow, so let's enter Patriot's Paradise here, check the prices, buy 1, Oh, right. Set cash 420,000. Buy 1, buy 2. And this doesn't show up on the inventory menu yet, but it will. And in previous versions, to put away your weapon once you've drawn it out with its corresponding inventory slot, of course I pushed 1, you would push 0, but going forward it's just push the weapon slot that you drew it from again. So I push 2 to pull out the secondary, or the primary, whatever, and then I push 2 again to holster it. So a little bit of changes there, but nothing too crazy. Check out Suburban prices. Well, let's just get a 6-inch. Anyhow, this has been Takeda reporting at long last with the sneak peek. I hope that this video ends up in someone who doesn't already know about the project's eyes, and it gets out there. Regardless where you stand in the project, I'm very glad that you've joined me and stuck to the end, so kudos to you. Oh, look at that, I won the jackpot too. Shout out to you, viewers. Anyhow, this is Takeda signing off for now. Hopefully I will have much more news about the project in the future for you. I'd really like to rebirth the development of the game, and I'm sorry for all the radio silence. So without further ado, I will bid you adieu. Peace out.